We are about to embark on an immersive journey through the corridors of our minds. Stand by as we prepare for departure.
Welcome aboard, everyone, to the Productivity with Peace of Mind podcast adventure. Our journey will begin in just a moment. Inhale deeply and exhale. Our voyage takes us on a captivating tour, diving deep into the intricate layers of our thoughts and imagination. Brace yourselves for the complexities of our evolution. For a safe and enjoyable journey, stay seated, secure your helmet and protective goggles, and keep hands, feet, and legs inside while the ride is moving. Now relax and enjoy.
What if I told you that our big goals aren't always about the big piece of that and taking really big action, which of course is part of the process? But another really big, important piece of that is the surrender, the stillness, and the ability to slow down and allow what is to be and to think and sometimes to pivot. And sometimes it's the things that we're not necessarily anticipating, like obstacles or challenges and roadblocks. And so we're going to talk about this today with this week's special guest. And it's just a really real, raw, and honest conversation that I think you're really going to enjoy. So let's jump over to the conversation. Today we have with us Heidi Kuker, and she has an expertise in real estate, business transitions, and also integrating life and work, which is what I'm really excited about because when we talk about setting big goals and making that like really easy and effortless and efficient so that we can have more freedom in our life and feel that peace of mind, this is how we do it, what we're going to talk about today. So welcome, Heidi. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I want to jump right into like the super big goals. And I know we were kind of talking about this before we got started, but why do a lot of us get stuck when we have like a plan or a goal before we even get really started?
Oh, plans. I think it's nice to have an outline. And it can be honestly so detrimental to have a plan. Um, yeah, there's many times in my life where I have been really interested in perfection and I can't start something or finish something or put it online until it's perfect. Yeah, we all do it. But I think that's the biggest thing that honestly really holds people back. And
Yeah.
if you look at, even if you just look at influencers who are super successful, look at
Yeah.
where they started. They started with like the worst videos, with
Yep.
the worst content, with the worst quality, with probably almost nothing to say. But you know, but it's authentic and they put it out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I don't know, for me and just like, we've been talking about this a little bit, but I just bought this house and I see this a lot with my clients, they're like, well, we want to just save like 10,000 more dollars. We want to have this ready, or we want to be in a position to do that when we buy. And it's just like, there is no such thing as perfect. And for real estate, like the best time to buy was 20 years ago. The second best time is now,
That's awesome.
literally. And I don't know. I think a lot of people get stuck in that beginning phase because they're seeing the end goal and they're seeing the bigger picture and they have this massive vision and they're like, well, I don't want to, they don't know where to start, but they also don't want to get started unless they have that plan of
Right.
how to reach that big goal.
Yeah.
And, it's taking those tiny action steps and even sometimes the big ones that are going to move you toward those goals. And it's not going to be perfect and it's not going to be linear. And there's going to be things you didn't think of, and you're going to get knocked on your ass and you're going to lose money and you're going to, you know, like I was talking to my coach last week and something she said to me was like, you're missing it.
Mm.
Like this is, you're in this place where you're in exactly what you wanted and you're kind of missing it, and it just really brought it to my attention again that it is about the journey, not about the destination, but it's hard to detach from the destination when you're taking that first step in the journey.
Totally. Well, and I think like when you talk about like these really big goals, or like you said, it's like perfect, it's exactly how you want it. And then I think we can get stuck in this like, I'll be ready when, but like there's no like I'll be ready when, you just have to get started. Like
You'll never
I
be
feel like
ready.
we're never ready. Yeah.
You'll if you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting forever,
Truly.
for sure.
And I think it's also really important to know like what your goal means to you. Like when I achieve this, what does this mean for me? Why is that so important to connect?
I think you almost want to reverse engineer it and be
Yeah.
like, why do I want to achieve this
Yeah.
goal? Versus when I achieve it, what does it mean? Because it's putting you back in the trap of if this, then that. If I can get to this thing, then I'll feel like I'm enough. I'll have enough money. I'll, prove this person
Yeah.
wrong or whatever it is. But you won't. You won't feel better when you get there. You won't. You'll feel worse. You'll get that goal and you'll realize, wow, this was just, I think, kind of an excuse to escape myself in a way.
Yeah.
And if you're not really examining why you want to do things, I don't think you'll be happy no matter how many goals you reach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
And
like,
you definitely won't want to keep going on your worst days.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Knowing why you're doing it is definitely helpful, like on those really hard days.
Yeah, it keeps you going. It's good to have that anchor, and have it be something that is internal for you. Because I think, just again being like, well, looking toward the goal, like the goal is external. It's
Right.
who do you want to become in the process?
Ooh.
I think it comes back to that a lot for me is who
Yeah.
do I want to become in the process? Like not necessarily even why do I want to reach this goal, but who is the type of person that accomplishes these goals and who do I want to be by accomplishing these goals? And what does it mean to me to be that person more than what does it mean to me to have this thing or to accomplish this goal? Because again, like it's all external.
Yeah. I love that flip that you're giving it of like making it internal and like focusing on like who you're becoming along the way, because I think that I mean, you made a really good point before about enjoying the journey. Like if you wait to be happy, quote unquote, until you reach the milestone or hit the goal, like it's very few and far between, right? But like all the good stuff, like all the cheese in your sandwich is in the middle.
It is. Hopefully it is.
Yeah.
A very messy sandwich otherwise.
love to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, what if it takes you 20 years? You're not going to be happy until 20 years from now
Right.
when you reach that goal.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to allow yourself to take a break or feel joy for 20 years because you're not at your goal yet, you know? Like, I don't know. I've done it both ways. And I've definitely like burnt myself out being like, I'm not gonna rest until I hit this goal. And you know, as competitive as I like to be, as like fun as that can be, if you're a competitive person, it's not necessarily a very fulfilling way of doing things because you miss all these little glimmers along the way.
Yeah. Well, and I think when you do wait for like a certain feeling or happiness, like at the end of the rainbow, you know, as an example, you're you're misguiding yourself because reaching goals, one of the, I think, things that people miss the most often is that you're just exchanging one problem for another, right? You're just kind of upgrading your problems for better problems. And
Bigger ones or more expensive ones.
yeah, that too. But right, like you don't think that, or you're not going to be as happy as you think you will be because you'll get there and be like, wait, I still have problems. What? You know, it's like
Yeah.
we psych ourselves out.
I mean, if your goal is to make $500,000 and it feels like the easiest way to do that is to, door knock and sell a product, but you hate talking to people, you're gonna be so miserable,
Yeah,
right? Like the whole way through.
yeah,
Versus if you started an e-commerce brand to
right.
do the same thing. Again, it's like, who do you want to be? If you don't want to be somebody who's super outgoing, up at the ass crack of dawn, knocking on doors, making people feel comfortable, it's probably not the best way for you to make, that same dollar amount as it would be for you to sign up for a Shopify account and get on Etsy and make an ebook. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just out of alignment. That's been my word for the month in April is alignment because as as fun and crazy as it has been buying this house and just jumping in and doing all this and this property is really unique because it's got a couple of rental units included in it and furnishing those and you know all of these like big massive huge crazy amazing accomplishments. uh, there have definitely been points in this process where I'm like, God, why is this like not fun? I'm like not having fun, or like I'm blocked in another way, or like in my
Yeah.
business or whatever. And it's like anytime, I'm feeling like I can't get what I need, usually when you slow down and look a little bit, it's because you're out of alignment. You're not having fun. You're not, doing something that you actually enjoy in some way or the other. So yeah, I mean, like last Friday, I found out about a Red Rock show and bought the ticket that morning and went that night. And I was like, okay. And it kind of, I don't know, I think it helps to, when you are in alignment and you are having fun and you are like living in joy and enjoying yourself and your purpose, you start to have opportunities unlock for you and just
Mm,
present themselves to you when you are in alignment. And
yeah.
yeah, excited about what you're doing.
Yeah. So this alignment is like basically how we make it feel easier or feel better. Like we're not going to love every step of the process. I think every goal and thing comes with like pieces we're not going to like super be in love with. However, it sounds like, you know, most of the time or maybe a good chunk of the time, it it will feel a lot easier when you're in alignment. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, I think like finding little ways,
Yeah.
to make your life and your job more enjoyable, whether that's like
Okay.
that you feel better and you're more focused if you get a workout in the morning. Or, for me, I don't want to go knock on doors, but what I do want to do is talk to every single person in my yoga studio.
Mm.
Like why would I go and do this thing that's so uncomfortable and potentially dangerous and kind of fruitless for me when I could make sure that my mental health is taken care of, make friends and build community,
Yeah.
and potentially have that result in sales versus putting myself in on an undesirable position when I could be, just truly living in alignment. Like this is something I already want to do, something I already need to do. It's something I like to do. I love to talk to people. So why not go and actually just be a part of something um versus, kind of being like a one man show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of part of what makes it efficient too, is like you're going into that yoga studio and really like narrowing in on what's going to move the needle.
Yeah. Yes. Our book last month for coaching was 10x is better than 2x. And that's, really the whole premise of that book is what are the things that I do that nobody else can do for me? And how can I just do that? Right. So, my social media, hired an operations manager. She's got me um, she's got me integrated across all platforms, website, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the things. Is writing AI programs to be able to produce and spit out content for me. And
Amazing.
I'm going to yoga. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just it's that 80% of the effort for social media, et cetera. If you're not good at it, it just takes so much more for me to do
Yeah.
that than it does for me to make sure it's done by having someone else do it for me.
Yeah. You also talked about some of these like kind of traps that we can get stuck in when setting goals, like getting really stuck in like, oh, well, when will it happen? Or how exactly will it happen? Can you tell us about those?
Oh, yeah, trust the universe.
So hard sometimes.
It's so true. A watch pot never boils.
Yeah.
Like the most simple, oldest phrase in the book, watch paint never dries, watch pot never boils. Like if you're just sitting there, and it's not that I don't fall into this trap myself. I do. I think we all do,
Yeah.
at times, but try to catch it and, just have some type of affirmation or something that I go back to, and that promotes that trust and gets rid of the anxiety of when or how, or obviously I'm taking actionable steps in the direction of my dreams. I'm not just meditating and not doing anything.
Hoping
You
it
can't,
shows up.
yeah, you can't do that. But what you think about will manifest, and if you're constantly like, God, why is it not here? Where is it? I don't see it yet. I can't touch it. I can't taste it. I can't feel it. I can't smell it. It's like, well, of course you can't because you think you can't.
Right. Because you're gonna just prove yourself right
Yeah.
by looking for examples.
Exactly. Yeah. That reticular activating system is looking for the yellow car that you drive,
Mhm.
That's the survival mechanism, is to look for something that reinforces the thought pattern that's already in your mind, right? So if you change the thought pattern, then you'll look for things that reinforce that. And it's so important when you're in the in between, which is like most of life.
Yeah.
Right? Because the goals are just these little it's life is in the dash,
Yeah.
right? It's not these points, it's in the dash, it's in the in between, and
Hmm.
it's most of it. So if you can change your thought pattern and just be like, I know I'm doing everything I need to do right now, everything's on the way, it's already here. I can feel it. God, I'm so lucky. And, Delulu is a Salulu. Like a little delusion never hurt anybody. Look at some of the people, some of the most powerful people in the world right now are absolutely delusional.
Yeah.
They are fucking delusional. And that's why they're powerful because nothing is going to deviate them from their purpose, from
Yeah.
their path, right? They are so confident, they know that whatever they want to create is already done. It comes to them.
Yeah.
So it's like it's this belief, it's the reinforcement and then detachment. You have something I've really recently learned, just in the last few months, especially, is like you have to let go of the outcome. If you're so attached to it, like if you're so attached to finding the absolute perfect partner who is a brunette and somebody shows up and they're like kind of a dirty blonde, like you're so attached to this brunette person and this dirty blonde shows up and it's like, well, this is everything that you've been looking for, but you're so attached to the hair color that it passes you by,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So I don't know. I would say, I think, feel like I'm talking in circles, but I would say like trust the universe and detach. You have to like find ways to be present, I think is the best detachment from almost anything else, is just to actually be, present in your body and your five senses and let the rest happen.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
consistency, right? Like you talked about like showing up and like, you know, day after day, just trusting. That's, I mean, to me, that's like consistency, and that's so important to move forward.
Yeah. Well, and again, like going back to letting go of perfection, like consistency doesn't mean 7 days a week. Consistency means 5 days a week, every week for the
Right.
last 30 weeks,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I struggle with, especially like with working out and stuff like that. I'll get in my brain about I need to have this many workouts a week. And if I don't, I'm a terrible person. Everything is trash. The world is burning. And it's like, no, can you can miss and be imperfect. But if you're getting 4 workouts a week every week over 30 weeks versus 10 workouts one week and then two the next, it's the consistent, you're right. The consistency is much more important.
Yeah. I had a coach tell me one time, because I was like, oh, I struggle with consistency. And I just, I just don't do things like every single day. And she was like, yeah, but you do keep doing them, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, so even if you skip a day or two and then you do it again, like, isn't that consistency? Because you're continuing to do it. And I was like,
Huh.
oh,
You're like, not according to my brain.
perfection.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's so easy to be hard on ourselves, but I think it's important to focus on like, am I, you know, doing those small daily actions? Am I showing up? Am I trusting the process? Because if you are, I mean, you will see results. Like you talked about, working out in the gym. And on the one hand, it's like you're hard on yourself for not missing a day. But then if you do show up every day and you don't see changes right away, how easy is that to feel like, oh, well, it's not changing. So I'm just gonna give up.
Right. Yeah, which is the worst thing because this has come up a few times in the last few months, but you're one day away. On your worst day, you're one day away from your best day, right? It's
Ooh.
it's just that one more get up.
Yeah.
Like just get up one more time
Mm.
and you're not a failure, right?
Yeah.
It's the staying down.
Yeah.
That's how you fail. It's not how many times, it's not how deeply, it's not how much money you lost or how much weight you gained or any of that. It's just how many times did you get back up?
Yeah. That's how we move forward. Just keep getting up.
Just keep getting up. Yeah. I mean, entrepreneurship is they say it's self-development like packaged as a job.
Yeah.
But you probably know this too. It's a daily exercise
Yeah.
in discipline. It's a daily exercise in keeping promises to yourself. It's a daily exercise in being able to, self-soothe and
Yeah.
get up from the floor of the shower when you're crying by yourself
Never been
and
there.
wondering what to
Never.
do. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's self-development disguised as a job,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's important that we don't overthink it, right? Like, because we could
Yeah.
spin
Wouldn't
and
that be
spin in
nice?
our head versus just like, just show up and do the thing and
Just
cry
show
in
up.
your shower and then get up again the next day.
No, honestly. Yeah, it's really about it's just stamina. How many times can you get knocked on your ass and get back up? It's I feel like one of the biggest parts of working for yourself is just that, I feel like maybe in a 9 to 5 job, I haven't had a job. I haven't had a 9 to 5 job since I was like 23. But in those situations, you can be like, today sucked. I hated every minute of it. Still got paid. Like, still got paid. I get a clock out, walk away, and know that you're collecting that paycheck regardless for your 40 hours. But it's just not like that when you're on your own, when you're entrepreneurial, when you're starting your own business, when you invest in something, like you have to have the confidence to take a risk and not on your business, but on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doing more with less thing, it just comes up constantly. I feel like I think a lot of people are probably like this, especially entrepreneurial people, especially entrepreneurial women, because they tend to be more ADHD leaning.
Yeah.
We see the shiny,
Yeah.
shiny, 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 shiny. But it's chasing,
Yeah.
it's chasing energy.
It's that like instant gratification, the dopamine hit.
Yeah. And then it leaves you feeling spread too thin and like you're not having deeper connections with people and it's just a lot and it's more often than not more satisfying, I think, to go deep than wide,
Yeah.
you know, and to stick with where you're at, even if it's uncomfortable,
Yep.
versus finding something new that's less triggering, that's less uncomfortable, there's new people there, so they don't know the dumb shit you said last week. And like going to a meetup or whatever it might be, like it feels better in a way, to keep exploring like new avenues. But something else that's been coming up recently is like you have to sitting with the stillness, like being in the stillness
Yeah.
and going back to like not forcing something It's like you can push and push and push and push all you want,
Yeah.
but there will come a point where, the universe, your job, your partner, whoever pushes back,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
and and says, "Nope, whatever you were trying to do, it's not going to work out for you, and we're going to put you in this position where the only thing you can really do is take a pause
Mm,
and sit with it and let it materialize, whether that's, you know, your credit card got declined and now it's on a 3-day hold. You have no money. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Like you have to just sit, whatever that looks like. But I think it's good to take those times intentionally before you're forced to take them. And
yeah.
I'm very guilty of the latter.
Same.
Where I'm like, I have no reason to slow down. I won't be doing that anytime soon. And then you do get into burnout. I do get into burnout. And I end up being forced to take a much longer break than I would have if I just did it in the first place.
Mm. So it's like take a moment in the stillness now versus be forced into like try to force it and then be forced into a longer break you weren't planning for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you hear of people who build multi-million dollar companies and then come down with like a terrifying autoimmune disease. And it's like, what do you think that is?
Oh yeah.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
It's forced rest, it's your body
Yeah.
fighting back. And I don't know, I think the universe kind of just universal energy kind of does that to you as well when you're pushing and pushing and pushing and you're doing all the things and you are getting your reps in and you're taking the daily actions and you're like, you're sitting there asking, why isn't it here? Where is it?
Yeah.
How is it coming? When is it coming? Um, but I think once you take that pause and you just, you know, you actually do take the rest and live in alignment for a few days and make sure you're getting time with the people that you love and doing things that you like, it comes, it appears,
Yeah.
but it's not in the pushing, it's in the surrender.
Mm. I love that. What do you do to find that stillness and surrender?
Oh, I had to force myself to take like 3 days off last week. When it was shiesty outside, I was like,
Mm.
I'm actually gonna put my phone on do not disturb. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. Last weekend for me, I was just like, wow, so within 30 days, I bought and closed on this house. I've furnished 2 apartments. I've gotten 2 rental licenses. I've been working with clients. Like I've literally everything. I've put together 4 bed frames, dressers, couches, like everything you can think of, just push, 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 push. And I'm like, God, I haven't even watched the sunset from my roof. It could be so simple. It could literally just be so simple as to just like literally sit down and pause and be grateful. Something I've been doing recently is when I take my dog on a walk, as much as I love books and podcasts and whatever. Um, but I've been leaving my headphones at home
Mm.
just purely for practicing presence,
Yeah, I like that.
purely for potentially talking to people at the dog park, purely for making eye contact with my neighbors, purely for taking a minute to not have as positive as podcasts and books and whatever can be, not having somebody else's fucking opinion in my ear
All the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
You go from screen to screen to screen.
Hmm.
And I think that's actually one of the simplest things that I've done with the book this month. I can't remember. The Compound Effect is the book that's
Oh,
most.
that's a great book.
It's a
There's
great book, but they talk about, it's not about what you're adding.
it's
It's
what's
about the
adding up.
sum, right? The sum of all. And what are you taking away? You don't
Yeah,
always have to add stuff.
right.
It
Oh,
doesn't have to always be more. Sometimes you need less.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and like I said, as much as absolutely love listening to that kind of stuff, I do feel like almost a zombie sometimes where I put the AirPods in, walk out the door, do my loop, and I come home and I'm like, nothing has changed. I feel no differently. I'm 5,000 steps in,
Mhm.
to my day, but I don't feel any different. And sometimes it makes you feel numb to
Yeah.
constantly have the chirping,
Because you're
in
not
your
making
ear.
that space to listen to yourself
Yeah.
when it's like constant. Like it has
Yeah.
its time and place.
It does. It does, but I think so does silence.
Yeah. Right. It's like you can't have too much sugar or too much water or you'll drown, right? Like
Yeah.
everything in moderation. And I think that's something we haven't moderated very much is like our technology and use of data.
Yeah. When you get into spaces um like this that are designed to help people and to give people perspective and to, you know, make you think. And sometimes it's good to just think on your own.
Yeah, I love that. What about when it feels heavy? Like if you try to go think or be in stillness or think about what it is you really want and it feels heavy.
It's gonna. It's just gonna sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's hard for me. I'm someone who has a hard time with therapy because I intellectualize my feelings instead of feeling them.
Mm,
Yeah. So I don't know. I think time and space and yeah, again, just surrender. Surrender, I think, is such a big part of growth and such a big part of entrepreneurship in general, where you do have to push. You have to push and push and push and push and push, force yourself to take a break, and then just like let it happen,
mhm.
right? Whether that's for an hour every night, whether it's for 3 days a month, whether it's for whatever that looks like, there is an element of surrender. And you are gonna intellectualize it and be like, it's okay to feel sad because all these things are going wrong, and I just lost $20,000 and blah 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 blah. Like you can make it okay all the time, but sometimes you just have to cry. Like sometimes you just have to ugly cry and think your world is ending and go to bed and wake up in the morning and be like, it's actually not that bad. Like
Yeah. Every day brings a new perspective.
it does, and sometimes when it feels heavy, maybe the weight is there for a reason,
Mm,
you know. It feels heavy for a reason, maybe because it's important and you need to spend some time thinking about it.
like the weight's there to like
It's there
slow you.
to slow you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's also really, I think with a lot of things, as it relates to my job, there's definitely certain people, who will come to me and be like, when should we buy? Or when should we sell? And I'm like, I can already tell you're super anxious. So let's not do this in the height of the market when you have 2 hours to decide. We got to write an offer today. you're gonna need to sleep on it. And you don't have time to do that in April
Yeah.
when it's busy season. You have time to do that in September. So let's buy in the fall, right? And it's I think about, or I think it's about knowing yourself and being able to say like, man, this feels really heavy. I should probably take a second to feel the weight of it and kind of like assess how I can shift that weight or if I can shift that weight, what that weight means, how I'm going to carry it, moving forward. Like you can't let it crush you. You can let it crush you for like a little bit, but
Mhm.
it's part of the process. But
Yeah.
you can't let it crush you forever.
Or let it slow you down but not crush you, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, literally. Oh, what doesn't feel heavy right now? That's what I want to know. I'm like, who's having a good time in America today? Because I want to be your friend. Help me.
Truly. What do you think has been like the biggest mindset shift that has helped you?
Um, like in business,
Just like to be able to achieve more with ease, to make it feel better.
I, I think that's just the thing is that like people want things to feel easy. Like it's just not easy. And I think, yeah, coming to terms with like your life's not going to be like everybody else's because you're not like everybody else.
Mm, yeah.
I think acceptance is big. Um, yeah, I think that's a big one. I think, it sounds kind of harsh, but like nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming to save you, and nobody gives a shit. Work harder. Like, if you want what you want and you want to be exceptional, it's not gonna be light. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be a clear-cut path. Um, and it's up to you to choose not only the path, but how you approach it.
Something I've kind of learned over the years is that like everything is like harder and more complicated than you think it's going to be, but also nothing is as hard or complicated as you
As
think
I think
it's
it's
going
gonna
to
be.
be.
Yeah, that's true. It's really true. I think, yeah, you gotta just be you have to almost just constantly stay open to potential, owning your own business and carving your own path. Like seek opportunity and opportunity will seek you. And I don't know, you got to get comfortable with risk and you have to be really comfortable being uncomfortable. I don't think I've ever been comfortable.
Yeah,
I think that's been very helpful. I don't think I've ever been comfortable.
yeah,
Whether I was, working in like a really stable job or whatever, I've never been comfortable. I've always just had this kind of like my skin is crawling kind of thing. Um,
mhm.
so I don't know, maybe if that's you, then you should start a business.
So what's one thing that we can all go do today to move toward our big goals?
Hmm. Get all the bad ideas out of the way first.
Oh, I love that. It's like so not the answer we want, but it's so the answer we need, right?
Just get them out. Just spitball,
Fail
honestly.
super fast.
Yeah, if you're like, I don't know what to do, just brain dump everything.
Yeah.
No judgment, just free write and start crossing shit out.
Yeah.
When I'm shopping with people, I just had some clients yesterday that they were like, well, we don't really like this, and we don't really like that, and we don't like this, and we don't like that. Sometimes I show people houses I know they're not gonna like,
Um,
honestly, because I want them to say it.
yeah.
I need them to say it
Yeah.
and start to gain that clarity for themselves. Because I can tell you, you're not gonna like this all you want. But until you're the one that says it,
Yeah.
and you're the one that decides, it doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that would be my first place to start. It's free. Doesn't it costs you nothing but time and a
Yeah.
little bit of energy, but I think it'll save you, a lot in the future of like it's another thing that I do with clients is when we go through a house, I preface it with, okay, I'm here to tell you everything that's wrong with this house if you still want to buy it. And I don't think that's a bad approach for a job. Like,
Yeah.
at all. Like tell me everything that you're not gonna like doing.
Hmm.
And it's if you don't know what you like doing, probably gonna inform you in a big way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and it also makes me think about like sometimes there's things we don't like in a house or a partner or a job, but those things we don't like are still worth it. So also knowing like what's actually a non-negotiable and what isn't.
Yeah. And that's why entrepreneurship is such a self-development journey, you know,
Mhm.
because you have to understand yourself. Like, am I okay, great. I can say I love sales all day, but am I gonna make 1,000 cold calls a week? No, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So don't put yourself in a position to be working from home making cold calls. Go work in a retail place where people come to you.
Yeah.
And you know that as long as the business is in front of you, you can close it. Great. Know yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's that alignment that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, for spending this time with us. And for those who are interested in buying and selling homes, you have a free gift for us. Do you want to tell us what that is?
I do. Yeah, you can go to my website, HeidiKuker.com, and just sign up to get buyers and sellers guides sent to you, or you can request an appointment with me and I can come take a look at your house and see what we think and come up with a game plan.
I love it. And where are you located again?
I'm in Berkeley, North Denver.
Perfect. So those listening know if that's in their area.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for braving the inside of your mind with me. The better we understand ourselves, the more deeply we understand the world. And as our awareness grows, life just gets better and better. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave a review and share this with anyone else you think could benefit from listening. A quick reminder that the content shared in this podcast is for informational purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, and the discussions here are not a substitute for professional advice. If you're dealing with a specific issue or need personalized guidance, please consult with a qualified professional. Your well-being is important, and this podcast is simply a platform for sharing insights and experiences. I appreciate you spending this time with me. Until next time.